Hello and welcome. This is Dr. Eli Klein with another segment of Dr. Klein's Info Series. And today I want to talk about vitamin E, the fertility or the anti-estrogenic vitamin. So some very interesting and practical application of vitamin E. So it is also known as tocopherol. And tocopherol comes from Greek. Toko refers to birth and pheron refers to carrying. So really literally to carry birth, to be able to carry a pregnancy. That's what it is about. And the ending OL, tocopherol, OL in tocopherol implies that it is chemically an alcohol, having a terminal hydroxyl or an OH group. So here you've got basically examples of alpha tocopherol over here and gamma tocopherol over here. And they're really almost identical to one another. There are just slight differences here in this ring here. These are known as isomers. So for all practical purposes, very similar, and that's why they have very similar activities as well. And vitamin E is generally presented as an antioxidant, a fat-soluble antioxidant. And that's what I was taught about vitamin E, pretty much. But the initial research and observation about the substance in the early 1900s showed that it promoted fertility and opposed miscarriages. So it has something to do with hormones, probably. Well, some researchers suggest that the pharmaceutical companies who were developing estrogen drugs and promoted estrogen as the female hormone changed narrative on vitamin E and progesterone. Vitamin E closely resembles progesterone in its activity. Over the past century, estrogen and related drugs have proven to cause miscarriages, heart disease, diabetes, depression, cancer, and other things that stress hormones do. So really, estrogen is, in fact, a stress hormone. It belongs to the stress hormone category. And sure, it has some short-term important mediating effects, but ultimately, when estrogen levels are too high relative to progesterone, it is a stress hormone, and it tends to rise in times of stress as well and promote the stress response. Now, over time, in addition to its fertility promoting properties, that is vitamin E, other benefits have been established in areas such as heart disease, breast and prostate cancer, treatment, and depression. Much of its effect is exerted by opposing estrogen in two primary ways that mimic the effect of progesterone. In other words, these two ways, I'm going to refer to in the next bullet point, these two ways that oppose estrogen are very much the ways that progesterone opposes estrogen. So it acts as an estrogen receptor antagonist, in other words, preventing estrogen from acting on its receptors, and as an inhibitor of the aromatase enzyme. That's the enzyme that makes estrogen from testosterone. So a common pathway of estrogen production is a conversion of testosterone to estrogen via the enzyme aromatase, and vitamin E and progesterone block the action of aromatase. And that applies both to men and women. Now, so these are some examples, some studies that reflect that. Alpha tocopherol acts as an estrogen receptor antagonist at a dose of a few hundred international units. The dose is basically anywhere between 100 to about 600 international units. So not a huge dose. Doesn't take much for it to exert its estrogen antagonism activity. So this particular study was done in the context of breast cancer. Another study that suggested that it acts as an aromatase inhibitor was done in the context of a study on lycopene and vitamin E in the context of prostate cancer model. Now, there have been other studies that also have shown pronounced effects by gamma tocopherols as well on decreasing estrogen, plasma levels of estrogen. And those, I believe, were also done in the context of breast cancer. So there you go. So you can promote vitamin E for anything that would require to keep estrogen in check. That's pretty much really everything. And anything that would require a progesterone-like activity. That can be so many different things. Anything from stabilizing mood. Progesterone and its precursor pregnenolone are emerging as powerful ways to decrease depression. And I've done some. I've spoken about the stress hormones and the context of the stress hormones with mood disorders. I talked about Rosiva and rhodiola, for example, a plant with compounds that mimic the effect of the hormones of vitality, and basically progesterone, pregnenolone, allopregnenolone. These are the hormones of vitality along with testosterone, DHEA, and they oppose the effect of the stress hormones, cortisol, and so on. It can also be used anything related to fertility, to menopause, thyroid function. Estrogen opposes the thyroid, and so on. What about cardiovascular health? Well, vitamin E actually is one of the 23 different ingredients in Healthy Heart Plus. So I just want to briefly talk about it in the context of cardiovascular health. And so what do vitamin E, estrogen, and progesterone have to do with cardiovascular health? Well, estrogen and estrogen-based drugs have been shown to have detrimental effects on cardiovascular health. So for example, women have greater risk of fatality than men in general, and women have more estrogen than men. Fatality from a cardiovascular event, that is. It contributes to estrogen, contributes to blood coagulation, so thickening of the blood, contributes to water retention around the heart and potential congestive heart failure. That's one of the natures or characteristics of estrogen. It increases cell division, it increases, it displaces water in and out of cells, causes swellings, and it blocks thyroid hormone. And low thyroid hormone is related to greater risk of plaque buildup, high blood pressure, and cardiovascular events. That has been established for a long time. It is also related to high cholesterol, but, very important, but high cholesterol does not cause cardiovascular events. It's something that I talk about over and over again. So vitamin E, like progesterone, does the opposite, promotes cardiovascular wellness, and opposes all these things that estrogen does. Vitamin E also as an antioxidant also protects against the damage of excessive oxidation and glycation from excessive intake of vegetable oil, so the predominant dietary oil out there that is used in cooking and in industry. And this type of damage contributes to cardiovascular disease by damaging the structural integrity of the artery wall and contributing to plaque buildup, also to poor cognitive and mental function, diabetes, and many chronic inflammatory conditions. So for those of you who are familiar with Healthy Heart Plus and have been promoting it, understand it, great. For those of you that has been under the radar for you, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. I just wanted to make a soft introduction here. You can see that it has a lot of different vitamins and minerals, 23 different nutrients. A lot of the things that someone who's concerned about cardiovascular disease and would like to follow a natural approach would probably look for. So coenzyme Q10, magnesium in a reasonable amount, 120 Q10, 250 magnesium, lysine, proline, the amino acids that are needed to repair the artery wall, along with the cofactors to make collagen within the artery wall. So vitamin C, silica, manganese, copper, zinc. Iron is not here. It's one of the other cofactors. That's fine. It shouldn't be here. It should be a standalone thing. Iodine, selenium to support the thyroid. So a lot of different things to support cardiovascular function. And in my mind, and sure, I'm biased, I think it's probably the best single formula for cardiovascular support, blood pressure, and cholesterol. And it comes with a money back guarantee. And if you disagree with me, please let me know why. I'd love to hear why you think it's not, based on what's out there right now in the marketplace as far as a single formula goes. So please connect with us via Instagram and Facebook. And if you do want to receive video notifications and watch on your own time, then just click on the subscribe button, and that's how you're going to be able to see it when it comes out. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll release another video soon. Thank you. Have a great day.